Christine. Welcome to Book Talk. Today we're discussing Landline by Rainbow Rowell. If you've been here for a while, you know that I love Rainbow Rowell. She's one of my very favorite authors. She writes contemporary books. This one actually has some magical realism going on. Contemporary with a smidge of magic in it. It was so good. Rainbow's other books include Eleanor and Puff, Fangirl, Attachments, which I can't find because I just moved and it's somewhere in a box. I actually read this version of Landline, which is my ARC version that I got at BEA. Signed by Rainbow. I loved reading this one. It's so big and not uptight, and it just so easily stays open to my page. And that is my favorite thing. All my paperbacks, I leave them like this so that they break, so that they stay open to the page. But this is already like it. It was like a bird. If you don't want to know about the book, and you just want to know how it was really good. And I loved the main character. I loved her job. She writes sitcoms, which is something that I've always wanted to do as well. And it was so cool. She's 37 years old and she's a writer. She's a comedy writer. And she has 2 kids with her husband and flying to his parents for Christmas who live in Nebraska, of course. Her and her writing partner, Seth, they've had this show that they've been working on for years. They've been waiting to get picked up. They get wind that someone's interested and she can't go with her family to Nebraska for Christmas. I really, really enjoyed it. I would give it a 94% because, like all of Rainbow's books, it ends where I want more of an ending. I just want more pages. It ended so quickly and I was like, wait, like I forgot when I was reading that Rainbow always does this and she just ends the books because they're contemporaries and it's like, they can't go on forever, but stop doing that, stop doing it. I'd give it 5 out of 5 stars. On my Rainbow scale, I didn't like it better than Fangirl. I don't know if I liked it more than Eleanor and Park, maybe equal to Eleanor and Park. That's it for the non-spoilery section, I think. You should definitely read it, especially if you've liked Rainbow Rowell's other books. I definitely liked it better than Attachments. I don't know, I love Attachments too. I can't order Rainbow's books because I relate to them all in different ways and it's too hard. That's it for the non-spoilery section, guys. Bye, non-spoileries. So Landline. I really, really love Georgie. She's pretty different from a lot of Rainbow's characters. She's a lot more outgoing. She goes for what she wants, and I love that she knows exactly what she wants, and she's set on it. When she makes a decision, she's there, and she's gonna do it, and I love that. I thought it was really interesting how she hates parties, but she's so freaking good at them, and I'm so jealous of how fucking good she is at parties. Her anxiety makes her better at socializing. That happens to me sometimes when I know the people I'm socializing with. A lot of times, if you know most of the people and some of the other people are new, you're better because they're your friends and you're more confident. It's like knowing that they already like you helps you be more outgoing, but most of the time at parties, you know like one person and no people when you go to like a networking party and she just shines her little heart out, but she hates parties. I love the line about the paint. When they went to pick paint, she always picked the bottom color, the most saturated color because it's the boldest. She said that one makes all the other ones look dull, so why would you pick any other ones? I always want the stupid bottom color too. And sometimes, you know, I see rooms that are light colors and they do look nice sometimes, but that bold color is just so cool. It was so funny to me how helpless Georgie was domestically in life. Like, I loved how Heather was like, how do you eat without Neil? Next thing you know, you're gonna be scourging for shelter and water. I love the thing that Georgie says about thinking about time in huge chunks and how surreal it is. And like, we all know that time is gonna pass, but it's so weird to go back and think about it. It's scary. This book was so funny. I went into this book thinking it was gonna be depressing, but I didn't find it depressing at all. It felt like a romantic comedy to me. And I found it so interesting how Georgie talks about the boys that she's drawn to and the standards she has. She doesn't want it to be easy. Nothing worth fighting for is easy. She wants the person who likes no one to like her, and that's an accomplishment. She's so into comedy and she's so funny, and her boyfriend, her husband, is the guy who never laughs. It's cute, but at the same time, I don't know, it's kind of sad. It's sad that he doesn't laugh at her stuff and he doesn't watch her show, and he says the show is beneath her. But at the same time, she still writes it. I don't know how I feel about Neil. Neil in my brain, I don't know who Neil was for you, but I was picturing this person the whole time, but I couldn't place who it was that I was picturing. And it was Martin Freeman, Watson from Sherlock, The Hobbit. And I feel like that's who she was picturing because her description was right on the money of Martin Freeman. The shortness, the hobbitiness. She mentions The Hobbit and Sherlock. She refers to Neil and how he always Sherlock's everything, and how he's the Hobbit. And she has to be picturing Martin Freeman. I know she used Draco Malfoy as her inspiration for how Levi looked. Can we just talk about for a second? Captain Levi, I was freaking out that the couple helping her was Captain Levi. Did you pick up on that? I knew there was gonna be a cameo of someone from her other books. I thought that maybe that boy would be Levi, and then it totally was, and they're engaged, and I was fangirling away. She's like, Neil's mom did not like me back then. Anytime I tried to be funny, she would pointedly frown at me. Like, not laughing at the joke wasn't enough. It was so funny. I'm trying to put myself in Georgie's shoes with the husband that never laughs. She knows how to read him really well, so she knows when he's laughing on the inside, or amused, I guess. But like, it's so frustrating when I show my videos to Olivia and she doesn't fucking laugh. If your husband never laughs, she just barely ever smiles. It's like, oh my god. It was also sweet how he didn't laugh, but when he did laugh, it was when he was really happy. That's nice, but she's a comedy writer. I kind of feel bad for Seth, but he missed his chance. Like, he never made a move. The whole process of Neil and Georgie getting to know each other was so cute. Again, Georgie is so outgoing. Like, she goes for what she wants, and it's so different from Rainbow's normal character. She wants to be kind of antisocial, but she actually is really social. And she'd go to Neil all the time, and Neil is really, really shy. He hates parties. Neil hates everything. Again, that bothered me how Neil, like, hates everything, but that's what Georgie wants. Someone who hates everything but loves her. And it's so weird. She had that character in her show who was basically Neil, the character that everyone likes, that it sucks character. Like, the fact that Georgie always kisses first, like, she can't wait. Her emotions explode out of her. Which I found so much fun to read, you know? It was so much fun to read Georgie. I love the whole start over thing, Neil. And the way we're introduced to the whole start over thing. First, it happens on the phone, and he's just like, can we start over? And she's like, from where? And they start over from the point that he talks about. And then we realize as we flash back that this is something he just always does. It's kind of like a cute little game that they play, but it just becomes something that they do in conversation, and I loved that. I just love how Rainbow always puts in so many little quirky things that makes everything she writes feel so real. Neil kind of feels like that person who hates technology, that doesn't want to move forward with the time. The fact that he never answers his cell phone, was it because he never wanted to talk to her because he was pissed off? Or was it because he like doesn't have his phone on him ever? I don't know, I got the feeling that he hated technology. Like, when he came to find her in the past, he was just sitting on a bench because he knew that she'd be walking by, so he just waited for her instead of calling her. It just reminded me of the character from my old-fashioned video. I love the part when other people start picking up the magic phone, and Georgie's getting confused, like, how does the phone work? Why is his phone magic too? Is the phone in the kitchen magic? And I guess it turns out that the landline, like Neil's landline, was magic. That was what was magic about everything. And we didn't go into it. I just wanted her to talk to Neil about the magicness. And like, if you remembered that conversation, at the end, I just wanted them to talk about the magic phone, the magic fucking phone. But they didn't. It was so funny when her mother picked up the phone and he called her by her first name. She was like, call me mom. I thought we'd been through this. And he's like, I'm not calling your mom mom. This is so weird. The funniest part though, when Heather picked up the phone, because Heather was like 2 years old when this conversation was actually happening. On his side. He's like, who was that? And she goes, oh, it was my cousin Heather. And he's like, you have a cousin Heather, but your mom named your sister Heather? And she's like, yeah, she named her after my cousin Heather. I just sat laughing for a good 2 minutes. Because like, in the future, he must think that she has a cousin Heather and a sister Heather. I loved how faithful both of them were to each other, and it's so nice. Oh, this was just so much fun. I love the time traveling phone. The jokes were fantastic. I wish I wrote more of them down. Oh, I love Rainbow Rowell's dialogue. She's just so good. She's so good at books. Please share your thoughts. Let me know where this stands on your ranking of Rainbow Rowell books. I'm Christine. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you next time.